By creating and sharing this information to the world, I become open and willing to live in the law of exchange. If only it were that simple. It almost is, but we'll get there. These are the days when information is mostly freely shared and easily obtained. The problem is sifting through it all, trying to find the gold. Trust me, I know. That's why I'm making these videos. Basically, to express something a little more real than the common themes of today. To me, anyway. On my journey for truth, I've come across many paths. I went down them all to some extent or another, at times becoming obsessed with certain subjects. What I found is that there's always going to be another equation, symbol, or word, or something like that. Basically, at this moment, there's always going to be something to distract you from the truth. The nature of light allows it to be absorbed, even into some of the tiniest, darkest places you may have never looked, kind of like biophotons. The truth I'm talking about isn't your personal truth. Your personal truth is a byproduct of the universal truth, and that's what we're talking about here. You must question reality, your reality, the things you were told growing up, the beliefs that make you. You have to open yourself up to new information and be able to discern and separate fact from fiction. More so, you have to be steadfast in the truth when you are able to receive it. Your whole life could be a lie. Wouldn't you like to know? Do you have borders where you live? Those are lies. Do you use a form of currency in exchange for goods? That system is a lie. Fact 1. You must enter the law of exchange in every way possible. Most of the human race is so far removed from our natural habitat that we require vaccinations in case of exposure to our natural habitat. Why is that? Way back in the day, at the dawn of mankind, we were surviving off the land, the vegetation, a constant source of food. We built shelter and tools in some cases, but at the beginning we were hardly what you would call man now. We ate from the earth and meat consumed was raw, for we hadn't mastered fire before a certain point. When we did this, we discovered when we used the bathroom, more of that vegetation grew in its place. And we were like, whoa, magic. Well, somewhere along the way, man mastered fire. We used fire in hardening tools and staying warm at first, and then somehow someone figured out if you put your food in the fire, it gives it the most desirable taste. Even though nothing else on the planet was using fire to cook or using fire at all for that matter, somehow we figured it out. And over time we changed. We developed complex communities focused around raising crops and animals to cook and eat. Play it out in your head. Man before he realized he was man. The whole process of finding out and evolving. The act of cooking food in the very beginning was the start of man learning about settling. We learned to corral animals and plants, and we learned about the mating rituals of those, and we learned how to farm animals. We were protective of our land and animals we settled on. We made laws to determine whose land was whose, but before cooked food, we did not do that. The old world, which is where you come from, your true home, may be why you feel sick at quote-unquote home. The first step is food. You must understand what is going on while you are eating. Your entire body is one big computer, and it is always taking in information. You can think of everything you see as information, because what is happening is that the light from objects is being downloaded by your eyes and optic nerves into your brain, and your mind is what puts all that information together to give you the picture you see. You are breathing in invisible information that is taken in by the body and chemically altered and then expelled from the body. All of the information you took from the air is why the air comes out of your body different. You put out new information into the air. The communications that are happening all the time in your body are hard not to take for granted. But wouldn't you like to know if you've been tricked or misinformed by all this external information coming into your body all the time? This is how this stuff works with the law of exchange. The squirrels spend so much time gathering acorns and hiding them in the dirt to keep them safe until needed. Some of those sprout and turn into new oak trees. The squirrel is the planter of these. Birds eat whole seeds all the time, and then when they go number 2, seeds come out and grow new plants. Everything they take from nature, they give back. They do this and earn the right to survive and reproduce. We used to be like this. We used to live off the land only, didn't eat animals. We gave back through our human waste. We literally grew trees from our poop, and it was good. Man understood different things about nature back then, more at peace and in awe of the splendidness of the process. We didn't take things for granted and kill and eat things just to do it. There was a certain information we need from those fruits and veggies that tell us how to give back and protect the planet and its many life forms. Cancer is a form of misinformation. We take in all the information we come in contact with throughout the day. All the chemicals in the food, water, cigarettes, the very air is being dosed with chemicals that cause cancer. All of this bad information enters the body, and the body interprets the information and then acts accordingly. This is why cancer affects the cells like it does. It sends a message, and the cells get the message and stop dying in order to reproduce new cells. These cells that stop dying form a cluster of cells called a tumor. The body attacks itself, all because we choose to load it up with information that isn't true to nature at its core. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Something gained through artificial information. Something about it is artificial. Everything about it is artificial. Contrary to popular belief, man has succeeded in creating an artificial intelligence system that will never be topped. It's all around you, probably inside of you right now. Most people in society are nothing more than artificially intelligent beings. Your genes store all the information that you've ever taken into the body, and your genetic makeup is changed based on what you eat, drink, and breathe. The study of epigenetics says that one's environment and belief system change the very genetic makeup of your body. How? Because everything is information. When you go into the grocery store and you see the organic section, just know that that's the only real food in the store. The people that are in that section are the only real people in the store. Here's the deal. 7.4 million women in the United States cannot reproduce. That is 12% of all women, according to the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Men are having more trouble. Why? Because you eat things that cannot reproduce, so you get no information on how to reproduce. The food most of us eat is actually poison. It is death. If you tossed it on the ground, it might even kill the grass. But if you throw an apple in the yard, you might get an apple tree in a few years. It's simple. If you consist primarily of information taken naturally from nature, your body will do what it needs to do naturally. Reproduce, fight away sickness and disease. Before, man would use the hair and the fingernails to take in just enough germs to create and copy and develop its own antibodies. But taking ourselves out of our natural environment and creating cities to live in, some of us have a weakened immune system and need to be vaccinated. Just like your pets need to be vaccinated. It might not be safe for you to go outside without it. How crazy is that shit? If you consist primarily of information taken in from nature, your body will do what it needs to do naturally. Regulate thyroid issues, stomach problems, strengthen immune system, possibly reproduce. The list could go on for ages. The atmosphere is a closed system. Hence, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Nothing you make is new. The energy to make it always existed. You just manipulate the energy. This means nature does not die. The leaves on the tree fall. The energy migrates to the other side of the world where the trees are starting to bloom. The trees migrate and people are blind to the fact. Most of our reality today is based on scientific theory. Theory, people. Wake up. None of it's true. It's something someone created for you. You may have never experienced some of the things you swear to be truth. Now is the time for you to be your own authority and do your own research and your own experiments. Mankind is God in the flesh. The universe is experiencing life from your eyes. The Bible is scientific, but the information in it has been skewed by the English language. For example, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. The garden is the planet Earth. Adam and Eve represent the male and female aspects of the human nature. The tree of knowledge were learnings that man mastered. The tree of life is nature itself. Man took from the tree of knowledge when he mastered fire and applied it to the tree of life and started to cook food. The universe has created everything to coexist perfectly in a large, closed system of infinity. When man used fire on the plants and animals, it took out the vital information needed for that plant or animal to give back at a certain vibration. The seeds of that plant cannot reproduce after being cooked with heat and fire. The biophotons, the life light, is removed during this process, therefore stopping the infinity system in its tracks. The fall of mankind was cooking food. This is why we are not allowed to live forever and just transfer information. Biophotons are the light, and we must live in the light to gain access to the kingdom of God. Inside the fruit and vegetables are many secrets, and eating them with the intention to download the wisdom of the universe will give one great insight into this raw nature. Within the first week, you will stop getting tired at 3 in the afternoon. You'll sleep better, have more vivid dreams. You will lose weight or gain weight depending on your body's needs. Your mood will even out and become consistent, and you will become happier. By eating genetically modified foods, you are modifying your genetics. Better be sure that whatever you're eating is telling your cells that they want to be happy, healthy, and that they want to reproduce. The hard part is that humans often have developed an addictive nature, especially when it comes to food. This is because even though the food may be filling, it is not nutritious according to man's nature and the makeup of your body. Your body is always craving something because the very food you use to sustain your body doesn't supply what your body needs. When you attempt to live off of raw foods only, it is very hard in the beginning. The cravings for cooked foods are very similar to the cravings a drug addict may experience for their drug of choice. We were born into slavery of the mind. The difference here is that the craving for cooked food is all mental. You do not need cooked food. You will not experience withdrawal symptoms. But almost all of the bad things in your life are symptoms of withdrawal from your natural food source and environment. But the society you live in lied to you and told you a balanced diet, and you listen. A balanced diet is a diet that keeps you balanced in nature. Something that spurs on reproduction and healthy metabolism and sleep patterns. Something that gives back to the planet when you are done using it. The law of exchange at any level requires you to give back to the planet what you take. This is the law in the simplest form. In order to advance in this law, you must grasp the basics. Why would the universe help you create what you desire when you desire only takes from the planet? When what you desire only takes from the universe? If you truly trust in the universe, you would live off of what it has supplied you with naturally. This is true trust. If you put your very life in the hands of nature, you have a raw diet. You are trusting the universe and nature to supply you with everything you could ever want to survive and be healthy and happy. This is how you enter the law of exchange and have more of an impact on your reality. The universe will begin to trust in you the same way. The more you incorporate this trust into your life, the more the universe will invest in you and allow you to do certain things with your information because it knows you will not harm it, because it supplies everything you could ever need, and you know this. Harming the planet would be to harm yourself. To eat raw from the earth is to care for and love yourself, and love and care for and trust the universe. Enter the law of exchange today.